So today I'm going back to my whatever happened to roots and discussing yet another meme that was born from a news blooper clip that went viral. And like many of these news blooper memes, the person involved has a catchphrase associated with them that's just as famous, if not more so, than the person themselves. We're gonna be taking a look back at the Ain't Nobody Got Time for That Lady, aka Sweet Brown.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Believe it or not, it's been close to 7 years since Sweet Brown's charismatic in the field interview blew up online. And while many of these overnight meme celebrities tend to completely mishandle their fame/infamy and fail to convert the clicks into cash, Sweet Brown was no stranger to making a buck off of her internet fame. From merch lines to acting gigs and even her own barbecue sauce, Sweet Brown has certainly gotten creative when it comes to monetizing her meme. And it seems like she's also very protective of what she believes is her intellectual property. And I say this because at one point she filed a lawsuit against Apple for hosting a song remix of her interview, which was allegedly created without her permission. So today I want to tell the story of how Sweet Brown became a meme and what she did after the fact, and we'll also touch on that Apple lawsuit a bit. Before we get started, I want to thank the folks over at the Ridge Wallet for sponsoring today's video. They make these sleek metallic wallets that go in your front pocket. On the Ridge website, you'll find that these wallets come in various types of metals and materials, from titanium to aluminum to carbon fiber, so there's plenty to choose from. I've used both the aluminum and the titanium. They're excellent choices. And the Ridge has more than just wallets. They have phone cases, bags, power banks, charging cables, and even pocket knives. I've got a 10% off link in the description box that includes free worldwide shipping. That's www.ridge.com/surf and use code SURF to save that 10% off. Anyways, let's get on to the video. This story begins all the way back on April 7th of 2012 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. In the early morning hours of this particular April day, a fire broke out at the Chateau de Ville apartment complex located in the Pennville neighborhood, which is located just a few miles northwest of downtown. The fire damaged 5 of the apartment units, with the remaining being left intact. Shortly after the flames were extinguished and the scene was under control, KFOR Oklahoma News 4 reporters were on the ground and were quick to broadcast the aftermath of the fire on television. And little did the KFOR reporters know, during their reconnaissance of this story, they were going to capture one of the most viral news blooper clips of all time. Shortly after arriving, reporters were introduced to a Chateau de Ville resident named Kimberly Wilkins, aka Sweet Brown. She claimed to have smelled the smoke from the fire as it was beginning to spread, so they interviewed her, wanting an account from a witness. And this was the result.
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I think it goes without saying, this clip is certainly something special.
I got bronchitis.
And in a post-Antoine Dodson era, I'm pretty sure that the KFOR reporters likely knew that they had a gold mine on their hands. So the video was uploaded to the KFOR YouTube channel and went completely viral. After it was posted, it was promptly ripped by a handful of other channels, many of which have more views on their re-uploads than the original does, with the most viewed of these boasting around 14 million views and is found on a channel called Lucasmar. Through a bit of digging online, I was able to discover that Lucasmar is or was at one point an employee at KFOR News and worked as a story contributor for the station. So perhaps he actually had direct access to the original Sweet Brown recording and it wasn't a rip. But anyways, Sweet Brown and her Ain't Nobody Got Time for That catchphrase were beginning to go insanely viral in the days following the apartment fire. And not only were ripped versions of the original interview popping up everywhere on YouTube, you began to see a phenomena that accompanies pretty much every viral news blooper clip: song remix parodies. And I'll always stand by the Schmo Yoho Charles Ramsey Dead Giveaway remix as being the greatest YouTube news blooper song remix of all time.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
I gotta admit, the Sweet Brown auto-tune remix parody is pretty good as well.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Uploaded on April 14th of 2012, it now has just under 66 million views. And there's a lot of different Ain't Nobody Got Time for That remixes out there, but these things were pretty crucial in the spread of this meme in general. So keep in mind that all this viral spread is happening within a matter of days. All the videos that I've mentioned have been posted within 4 or 5 days of the apartment fire. Millions of people around the world have become aware of Sweet Brown in this short time frame. But was Sweet Brown aware of all this stuff? Was she aware that she was now like a famous internet celebrity? Well, at first, no. But according to Sweet Brown, her internet savvy son would be the one to break the news to her.
And then I was like, you know, you're viral. I said, what do that mean? Then my son was like, Mom, you're viral. You 2 million in 2 days. And I didn't understand that. So.
You said, what is viral? Is that a cream or something?
I know, that's what I thought. I thought I need to stir up something.
Sweet Brown.
After realizing she had become this internet icon of sorts, she quickly got a manager on board and business and appearance requests began to flood in not long after. She would get to work. Well, only after meeting up with our old friend Lucas Marr in real life and getting gifted some RC Cola. Shout out to Lucas Marr. Sweet Brown was able to find an interesting niche that she was able to utilize to make money off of her internet fame. And this niche came in the form of paid appearances in local TV commercials, becoming a celebrity spokeswoman of sorts. Now, a lot of these commercials are JG Wentworth 877 Cash Now tier commercials, but hey, you gotta make that bag in any way, shape, or form. So I'm gonna play just a montage of them right here.
Sweet Brown, can you tell us what happened?
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I realized my tooth was hurting. Then I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a toothache. Ain't nobody got time for that. Paulette, you want a cold pop?
Sweet Brown, we're shooting a TV commercial.
Okay.
You know you don't want to fix up your home.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know you don't want to have an open house.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Sell your home. Call 1-800-2-SELL-HOMES.
I was sitting at home watching TV, and then I seen TDJ. Then I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a mega fest. So I ran out and grabbed my shoes and came.
During the research, I was honestly astonished at the sheer number of TV gigs that she was able to land. And those coupled with the paid appearance on Tosh.0, I can only imagine that she got a pretty decent bag from doing all of these TV appearances throughout late 2012 and early 2013. So aside from television, in early 2013, Sweet Brown got into merchandising as well. And one of the more interesting lanes that she went down was the creation of her own barbecue sauce brand. And what was this barbecue sauce called? It was called Sweet Brown's Oh Lord Jesus, It's a Fire. This barbecue sauce was intended to be the first of many products sold under Sweet Brown's Sweet Brown Foods LLC, which had been formed in early 2013 by Sweet Brown herself. In a local news interview in May of 2013, Sweet Brown claims that her barbecue sauce would be available online or at select Kroger and Walmart stores. However, this barbecue sauce venture ultimately was a flop, and I'm actually unable to find any solid proof that the sauce was ever sold in a retail setting. In fact, I can't find any solid evidence that anyone actually ever purchased this product. There's not a review to be found anywhere online. But there is proof that the barbecue sauce did exist, at least in a prototype form, as you can see her holding a bottle of it here. So perhaps the sauce venture never came to fruition, or it had a small limited run where it was sold on her now defunct website, realsweetbrown.com. So if there's anybody out there watching this video that ever at one point came into the possession of the Oh Lord Jesus, It's a Fire barbecue sauce, if you were to throw this stuff onto eBay, I would imagine you could at least get like $500 for this thing, because it's like a rare collector's item at this point. So during the chronology of this story, we're beginning to get into the summer of 2013, and this is where that lawsuit against Apple comes into play. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the song remixes of the KFOR interview were a huge reason of why Sweet Brown spread in the first place. The most popular of these was the Ain't Nobody Got Time for That auto-tune, but there was another very popular remix floating around online which was published back on April 11th of 2012, called I Got Bronchitis.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm running for my life.
This song was published on the Bob Rivers Show YouTube channel, which was the YouTube channel associated with the radio show of the same name, which broadcasted out of Seattle, Washington. The I Got Bronchitis remix was actually created by a musician named Ben Karlstrom, who at one point worked for the show. This remix blew up when it was uploaded to YouTube and was subsequently made available for purchase on iTunes. The video and its iTunes counterpart were extremely popular, but for some reason they mysteriously were taken down sometime in June of 2012, right in the midst of its viral spread. So what happened? Eventually it was discovered in the spring of 2013 that the song was removed due to a pending lawsuit filed by Sweet Brown and a co-complainant named Sparkle Adams, which was targeting Apple Incorporated in the Bob Rivers radio show. And they were looking for $15 million in damages, but why? The lawsuit made claims that the creators of the song, The Bob Rivers Show, used her voice clips and catchphrase from her famous interview without permission, and was essentially profiting off of Sweet Brown's likeness. Apple was being targeted in the case simply for hosting the song on iTunes. However, Apple was quickly exempt from any consequence as they are protected by DMCA, and just removed the song from iTunes after a takedown request was filed. So this left the guys over at the Bob Rivers Show in the hot seat. Shortly after the news broke on this lawsuit, updates were few and far between. But in September of 2013, a big update was being reported. Apparently, the entire case had been dismissed by United States District Judge Joe Heaton because Sweet Brown and her co-plaintiff had failed to supply the court with the required evidence disclosures for the case to move forward. This case was dismissed without prejudice by the judge, which means that it can be reopened in the future, but as of today, this is yet to be pursued. Which I think is probably a good thing, because I think if this case blew up, it probably would have backfired and painted Sweet Brown as a litigious, money-hungry, and anti-fair use person. In my opinion, song remixes of these news interviews is completely fair use, but hey, I'm not a lawyer, so yeah. After the legal situation, it was quickly business as usual for Sweet Brown, focusing her time on finding gigs in television, and even got into movies for a little bit. The most notable movie appearance that Sweet Brown ever participated in was Tyler Perry's A Medea Christmas, which released in December of 2013. So as far as the major developments with Sweet Brown, we've covered the TV commercial gigs, the Oh Lord Jesus It's a Fire barbecue sauce, the Apple suit, and her brief stint in movies. And after her Medea appearance in late 2013, this kind of wrapped everything up. The calls and business inquiries just kind of stopped coming in for her. Meme juice will ultimately run out, and things have been relatively quiet, and she has nestled herself comfortably in that post-E-Fame tier of celebrity with a reported net worth of $2 million. She still lives in Oklahoma City and has become somewhat of a living legend within the city. And yes, she's made appearances in various forms of media since 2014, none of these are very remarkable. While things have certainly slowed down for Sweet Brown in recent years, her catchphrase "Ain't nobody got time for that" continues on and has found itself embedded in the vernacular of many people worldwide. I mean, I think we've all said "ain't nobody got time for that" at least once in our life, and a lot of that came from the influence of Sweet Brown. But that, my friends, is the Sweet Brown story. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section, and let me know who you want me to talk about next. Major shoutouts to my patrons, I appreciate you guys. Wavywebsurf out, peace.